Okay, so I made a video earlier about this subject, but I'm just going to redo it. This is about all these Klan rallies that's been happening and what's about to happen, and um, the one that just happened, and just my particular opinions. So back in about I want to say 2003 or something like that, I went to a Klan rally here in the state of Minnesota. I was at the Capitol, St. Paul, Minnesota. It was on the Capitol steps around 2003 or something like that. It was very early 2000s. You can Google it. And as I approached, I went with my daughter's aunt at the time. We had to walk a few blocks to even get to the Capitol because they had streets blocked off. The police did. The police had streets blocked off. They had some streets had they were blocked off, had police signs, police cars that had signs on top of it that said, "If you are not white, do not go down the street." Okay, things like that. You saw things like that when you got to the actual Capitol. The Klan members, when they was having their rally, they were having their recruiting rally here in Minnesota. The Klan members, they were cordoned off behind a huge fence. The fence was so big, or tall rather, and it actually went all the way around them. So like the whole Capitol steps area, and it's kind of wide. So it's the Capitol steps. So it's very huge, tall, tall, tall. I would say equivalent to maybe some type of prison fence, FEMA camp fence. Like it was at least 12 feet plus tall. It was you didn't want to climb it. It was a deterrent of trying to climb over it. You seen some police, and you thought that was all the police. You had like it was very thick. You had flower child people there. You had pro-black people, pro-white people in the crowd that was kind of like antagonizers, and people that was just pro-white or whatever. Some people that was trying to start stuff, and it was arguments. It was very tense situations. It was a lot of energy. It was the closest that I got this feeling. It was just weird. It was the closest I will ever have gotten to, like, so far. To what was happening in the '60s and stuff like that. It was intense. I remember like looking up on adjacent buildings and seeing police or sniper units, SWAT team units that were on buildings that had you see a person that looked like an officer, some type of person in military type gray gear with a rifle. Okay. As we were leaving out the opposite direction, I noticed that they had, it was basically like 2 blocks down and over, you run into like a brigade of mounted horsemen. Okay, you're like, where the fuck did they come? We didn't even know they were there. They had mounted horsemen that was deep. They had police and military grade riot gear that was deep. But you didn't see them. You would have had it was so slick and so properly coordinated because Minnesota at the time did not want no shit popping off in a state. Okay, and they knew that. So I'm saying all this to say that what's going on now in the city, meaning in the United States, as far as these rallies that are happening and people getting assaulted and killed and stabbed, they want that to happen. It is an intentional lack of coordination and police presence at these rallies. Why? Because I feel like they're trying to antagonize the races. We have Trump, we have, all the Black Lives Matter, we have these police shootings and killings that's been like very, getting a lot of media attention and things like that. You have these racist news representatives on these shows like Fox and things like that. So they're just anteing up, geeking each side up, everybody wants their country back. And that means that not black people being able to do what the fuck they want to do like we are now. I hope that you understand that when they say that they want their country great again. They've been saying that ever since we were free. There's songs you can go back into history research and interviews and news articles from papers around the country that they said those words, and that was why. Okay, so black people, okay, they're not talking about us. Don't stop. You're not included in that. It's just whatever. You're like the person that wants to get along with the cool kids, and you're just there, and then you say something, but they just okay, whatever, but they really got their own clique going. Okay, stop it. Stop. Anyway, it's intentional. Beyonce got people geeked up and talking about pro-black and everything like that. So maybe that was the the puppet master and the puppet type of thing that was intentional, that was deliberately done, so that we can, everything that happens, that's been happening, people don't catch because they don't see the puppet and puppet master effect. Everything, just like, for example, the condition of black people. Everybody says, it's black people's fault. They don't work, but they don't understand that there are conditions that has been created to create what's been happening for the last 30 years in the black community, 30, 40 years. But to the average person, if you're just following, this person individually just, didn't have a job, or he has a felony, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at the things that have happened historically to create the conditions, these are people that happen intentionally. People did that intentionally to get black people into the predicament that they are in now. Okay, we didn't bring the drugs. We don't have boats. We don't have, we're not the ones that, let, guns go and to fill railroad carts full of guns and just left them in the hood, like let it, stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know, but it's intentional. That's my thing, because like I said, I've been to a Klan rally. They wanted to have a police presence. They would have a police presence. They don't want to. Everybody's been talking about a race war. White folks, I remember when I was a kid, I was hearing about this from white people, that white people were in the woods practicing and training. They weren't buying Jordans. They were taking their money, going by bullets, training their kids how to shoot, all that shit. Since I was a kid, I've been hearing stories about white people pro-white people getting ready for a race war, because a race war is going to happen. They've been saying it and saying it and saying it. I don't know. But, Beyonce got people froggy. White folks like, fuck it, and they don't qualify as terrorists, KKK, because they're white. Name one group that is pro-white in this country, that started in this country, that white people collectively and openly consider as a terrorist organization. Terrorist organization to white people is any other group of races of individuals who are not white, who threaten their way of life. That's it. Anybody, if you're even the ones that are anti-establishment, anti-government, aren't even terrorists. They're called patriots or right-wing and things like that. So open your eyes, black people. Stop buying the Jordans. You might want to go buy like water, guns and bullets, and some tactical training. I don't know, but or else soon you going, because I ain't going, but soon y'all gonna be just trolleyed on down to the FEMA camps. I ain't going though. Y'all gonna go though. Y'all gonna go willingly like idiots.